Jake Sully, the main character, talks about his quiet life with his family on Pandora. He is the chief of the Amataka tribe, and he and his wife Neytiri have a total of 5 children. Now, Neytiri and Jake are his 2 boys. A daughter tucks in their adopted daughter, Kiri, and a human boy named Spider. Jake goes on to explain. Grace, a close friend of his who died while helping the Na'vi people fight against humans, had a daughter. When all the people went back to Earth after losing the fight, they left Spider behind. Jake says that even though the kids are different colors and sizes, they play together and look out for each other. Jack says that the kids all live together like a family. Neytiri doesn't like Spider, though, because it turns out that he is the son of Colonel Miles Koick, the bad guy who almost killed off all the Na'vi. It turns out that the Spider was left on Pandora because he was too small to be taken back to Earth. He says that you can't cry asleep, kids. Kiri, on the other hand, feels very close to Spider and loves him a lot. Since the human boy has lived with the Na'vi people his whole life, he thinks he is one of them. Neytiri and Jack are talking late one night when they see bright spaceships in the sky. All of a sudden, the saucers came close and started causing trouble. The Omataka environment is set on fire, which causes a lot of damage and kills a lot of animals from the spaceships. A group of troops with robot guns come out and finish off whatever else is left. Neytiri and Jake, who are looking from a distance, are shocked to find out that it is an RDA spaceship with people on board who want to live on Pandora and build a new main control station. The action then moves to one of the human labs, where have made a copy of the Colonel in the form of a Na'vi. He has been given the memories and information that were taken from him before he died. Because of this, the Colonel's clone knows everything except who killed him and how. Along with the Colonel, the scientists also made clones of other soldiers who were there during their last attack on Pandora. Because of this, the Cur and his men will do anything to destroy the Uma, and especially Jake. While this is going on, Jake is leading an army of Na'vi towards the RDA train supply lines in an attempt to keep outsiders away. He gets inside and steals food and weapons. During this operation, one of his kids, Loke, doesn't do what he's told and gets hurt. Jake scolds him and tells him he needs to be more responsible from now on. On the other hand, the Colonel meets his senior general Ardmore. Ardmore tells the Colonel about the SCOs, which are the novice flying partners. They are hitting their planes right now, which slows them down. Hearing this, Quash comes up with a plan to go into the bush where they fought before and find out more about them. He and his other friends will soon get to the forest. Unfortunately, Jake's kids are also playing in the same park, right? The Colonel then looks around the old battlefield and finds his robot suit with his body still in it. Loke sees all of this, and with the help of a speech emitter around his neck, he calls his father right away. Jake hears this and makes a suggestion that Loke stay away from them and quietly leave the area. Then, he and Neytiri fly to the bush to make sure their kids are safe. Loke and his brothers get caught by humans when they try to run away. The Colonel looks more closely at their fingers and realizes that they belong to his biggest enemy. Just then, Neytiri and Jake, 2 kids, show up and charge the guards. Most of their children were able to get away. Not Spider. The bad people take the boy away, which is sad. When the Colonel asks Spider what his name is later, he knows right away that Spider is his son. Back in Omataka, Jake talks to his wife and tells her that he thinks they should leave and go to the East Coast. He is afraid that Spider will tell the Colonel and his people where they are. Jake also tells Neytiri that the humans will keep fighting them until he is with the tribe, since he killed Colonel KK in the first place. Neytiri doesn't want to leave her beautiful home, but she knows that what her husband says is true. Because of this, she agrees to move with him. On the other hand, General Ardmore dishes is cruel to Spider by putting him in a rotating machine. Yes, put him in the little naked human spinning machine that will make him talk. He tries to get important information out of the boy, but no avail. Thinks that Spider is too loyal to his Na'vi parents and won't give up. The Colonel can't see his son in this, which is surprising. So he stops the spinning machine right away. He then goes up to the general and tells her that he will deal with the Spider in his own way. Later, he meets the boy in a different room and tells him that he's not a bad person. He also tells him that he is there to bring him back to Earth. This makes Spider feel good, and he agrees to give him the information he needs. In the next scene, Jake and his whole family leave their home country on their SCOs and fly away. After a few days of flying, they finally get to a place called where another group of Na'vi lives. Surprisingly, the Na'vi who live here are less brightly colored and like to stay in the water. When they see Jake and his friends, they start making fun of how they look. Soon, Tono, the leader of the group, Wari, with his, comes. He doesn't trust Jake and his family, and he says that they wouldn't be able to live in the water. But he is desperate to save his family, so he tries to help them. Jake says that they will get used to the place quickly. Then he tells them why they're being chased. When some people tell Wari this, he finally agrees to let them stay and gives them a place to stay. He also asks his kids to teach Jake's kids how to swim and move around using their special animals. To do what Warrior's children asked, they took their new friends to the ocean and started teaching them the basics. Loke, who is always getting into trouble, tries to talk to a sea creature but loses control and falls into the water. As all of this is going on, Tony Warrior's kids start to laugh. Deep in the ocean, you can see the girl Kiri. Surprisingly, she has adjusted well to the place and can even make some sea creatures do what she wants them to do. The next day, it was both mysterious and helpful. While Curious is meditating underwater to warriors, Aang and his friends come up to her and start making fun of her, calling her a. Because of this, LOAC gets mad and comes over to punch Aang. Aang doesn't take this lying down, though, and with his tick tail he starts clapping some ass. Jake finds out about what happened later and gets angry. He tells his son, who is the son of the clan chief, to go apologize to Aang. Lok agrees reluctantly. Aang forgives him in front of the others, but deep down he is still angry with him. So, to teach Lo how to be a teenager, he takes him to a planned place under the guise of going swimming. Lok has no idea that there are dangerous animals in the water nearby. After a while, Lok is fishing when a big animal moves quickly toward him. Afraid, Lok looks for someone to help him, but he can't find anyone. But at that moment, a huge creature called Pei comes to help. With the help of its wide, it kills the prey quickly. Here, we learn that Pan is a Takan, which is a peaceful and smart animal. The Metkina see the thousands of Talks in the sea as their sacred family. Pound is the biggest and most powerful of all of them. During this time, Pound saves LOAC and brings him to the surface. The second beast also helps the first one by pulling out some harpoons that were hurting the first one. With this, they become friends and form a beautiful link. Lok even climbs while he is hitting him. It smells bad. When Lok finally gets to land, Worry calls him up. The strict boss has learned about his son's mischief and wants Aang to say sorry. But this kind-hearted Lok takes blame for what he did and says Aang had nothing to do with it. This shows Aang that the new fleets are not so bad after all. After a while, LOAC meets up with his brother in France. He tells his brother how Pound saved his life. No one believes him, which surprises him. Instead, they show that Pound is a killer, which is why the other tool gave up on it. Coons, on the other hand, has a spider tell the seed about some Navi culture and take him to the Hallelujah Mountains to choose a SCO for him. The colonel has trouble at first, but he soon gets the hang of it and can fly around. Not long after, he also gets information about where Jake might be and leads his army to the Metkina Reef. When he gets there, he talks to some of the ZS and asks if they know Jake. When the Navi say no, the bad humans kill one of them and burn down their homes. Even so, the Navi stand by their claims that they have no other choice. The colonel makes a sign. Plan B will be used. Now, he wants to kill a lot of tool cans in the hopes that this will finally get Jake's attention. But there's one more reason to kill them. The brains of the tool cans are filled with a valuable liquid that can make life on Earth last longer. 1 liter of this liquid is worth millions of dollars. The only thing more valuable than unobtaining is space whale brain goop. Soon, some hunters will start to look for sea monsters. They hit them with a lot of trackers, which knocks them out. In a sad scene, a mother tool coon is brutally killed while her child lies next to her, stunned. The people leave in the end, but the tracks are still in the tool coons. When the Metkina find out that their friends are being killed, they get angry and decide to join the fight. Jake tries to calm them down and tells them that they need to tell the tool cans first about the trackers. This is the only way they can stop a strike from happening again. When Lok hears this, he runs off to tell his best friend Pa. He is joined by a few other people from the area. They finally find Pa after a while and get ready to pull the tracker out of him. But just then, the colonel and his whale hunting team arrive in their whale ship after seeing them. Just in time, Lok gets in touch with his father and tells him what's going on. He and his friends also get the tracker out of Pa's body. After that, they hide underwater while the colonel's team looks for them. Jake comes up to Noir and tells him that their children have gone missing. This makes the latter worry, so he tells his people right away to get ready for war. Jake and Neytiri also got their guns, and soon they were all on their way to the fight together. The colonel, on the other hand, tells his team to fight the Toolcuss and look for Jake's children. After looking for a while, they finally found Carrie and used a net to catch them. Lok does everything he can to tear the net, but he fails. He used it to get to the whale ship. Soon, the colonel shows up and ties them to the ship's rail. He then takes the Lok color emitter and asks Jake to give up so that his children will be safe. Not having any choice, Jake agrees to what he wants. At the same time, Picon sees that his best friend Lok is tied to the deck and makes the dangerous decision to save him. He jumps onto the deck all of a sudden and starts moving his fins. This kills the ship and kills a lot of soldiers, taking advantage of Jake and the meta's attention being drawn elsewhere. The colonel and his men were also attacked by Kina. They want to save their kids, but they also want to hurt the people who hurt them. At the same time, Spider breaks the whale ship's control, which makes it hit the rocks and let water into it. Next, Jake and his oldest son Neytiri quickly climbed up to the deck and freed Lok, Tok and Kiri. Then they told the children to go back to where they were safe. Lok refuses. Instead, he chooses to save the brother he has taken in. Spider Neytiri comes with him, and after a little while of looking, they find Spider. As they are getting ready to leave the ship, the colonel sees them and starts shooting. Neytiri hurt very badly when she gets hit by one of the shots. Lok and Spider take him to their mother on the shore right away, but he dies because he has lost so much blood. Having to watch her son die right in front of her, Neytiri starts to cry and yell out loud. In the meantime, the bad colonel uses his SCO to catch Key and Tuck. Later, he talks to Jake again and tells him that both of his girls are with him. When Jake hears this, he finds a way to calm Neytiri down and convinces her to help him save their girls. The latter obliges. Full of anger, she calls her SCO, grabs her bow and arrows, and flies toward the ship. Jake soon gets close to the ship and sets it off, killing the colonel's men. Neytiri also gets there and starts shooting arrows at the people who are still alive, killing them all at once. Jake finds his daughter missing and freezes her, but the colonel also shows up at the same time. He is putting a knife to Kiri's throat. He tells Jake that if he doesn't put down his guns, he will hurt him. In the meantime, a furious Neytiri catches Spider and threatens to kill him. The colonel says at first that he doesn't know Spider, but when Neytiri makes a small cut on the boy's chest, he goes right away. Neytiri and her family are now getting ready to leave, but the colonel says that he will find Jake again and kill him later. Jake understands that he has to kill the colonel if he wants to live in peace. So, he goes back to the battleground. This time, the two people who have always been at odds with each other fight with their fists. It's a tough one, and the two of them go well together, step for step. But in the end, Jake, who is our hero, wins. He gets his arms around the colonel's neck and hits him hard enough to knock him out. Jake thinks he is dead, so he lets him drown in the river. He also has trouble breathing and starts to sink, but LOAC saves him and brings him to the top later. Pound takes everyone in the family to the shore. On the other hand, Spider saves the life of his real father by pulling him out of the water. But when the colonel tells him they have to leave, Spider says no and goes back to his new family. In the last scene, Jake's family and everyone else met the Kina tribe and found Barry Net's body at the bottom of the ocean, surrounded by lighting tubes as if they were his own. At the end of the movie, Jake thinks about the best times he had with his older son and realizes that he is in heaven with their gods.